Welcome again to the old principal. I sound like the old principal today, huh? 我是老校长, and we have an English instructional program for you. But before we begin, let me introduce the title of our lesson today is Uncle Buzzy. Okay, this is a beekeeper, 养蜜蜂的, and these are bees. 这个是蜜蜂的. Okay, so we're going to talk about Uncle Buzzy. 243, lesson number 243. So with that, let's let Connie read us the story, and I'll be right back.
Story 243, Uncle Buzzy. The most eccentric person on the staff of Laurelwood Academy was a stubby little night watchman, Uncle Buzzy. Several things made him seem strange. First of all, he was the night watchman. His job was to patrol the school and keep a watch out for fires and intruders during the night. He also had to watch out for naughty students who seemed to do many of their misdeeds under the cover of darkness. But by far his strangest peculiarity, if you can call one's occupation a peculiarity, was the fact that Uncle Buzzy was the school's beekeeper. That's why they called him Uncle Buzzy. The first couple of years, I didn't pay much attention to the hives of bees placed on the hill behind the boys' dorm. But during my senior year, my brother and I got interested enough to ask Uncle Buzzy to teach us how to do beekeeping. He lived in a remote place, so it always added a little suspense to walk through the woods to his house. Out in the clearing where his little house was located, there also were many piles of old things and junk. Inside the house, everything was dark and had the smell of oldness. But we didn't stay inside for long because outside there was the smell of spring and the fragrance of sweet honey everywhere. He'd say, "Okay, boys, let's go open up some hives." And at that point we covered ourselves from head to foot. We had a screen around our head. But we always seemed to get stung a couple of times. Uncle Buzzy also wore a screen around his head, but he never put on gloves. He had been stung so many times that bee stings didn't bother him very much. Inside the hive, he showed us the various points of interest, especially the queen bee. This hobby was so captivating that even my father got interested. Eventually, our family had 30 hives of bees of our own.
Okay, to begin with, the most eccentric person on the staff of Laurelwood Academy was the stubby little night watchman. His name was Uncle Buzzy. I need both hands. So, the most eccentric. Okay, eccentric means 古怪的. He was strange, just not quite like everyone else. And so then I explain now what it was. He was on the staff. Okay, so he worked for Laurelwood Academy. 这个是我们寄宿的中学. Okay, we lived at the campus, Laurelwood Academy. He was他是志工 staff. Okay, and he was stubby. What does it mean to be stubby? Stubby means to be short, very short. Stubby, little, stubby, little, almost the same, a little bit different. Night watchman, 守夜人员, okay? and his name was Uncle Buzzy. Now, he really wasn't my uncle. Everybody called him that, Buzzy Shushu, but he wasn't really my uncle. Going on. Several things made him seem strange. 几样事情，这使他对我来说，使他变成一个奇怪的人。Well, yeah, quite. First of all, he was a night watchman. Do you know what a night watchman is? A night watchman is somebody that goes around at night. The next slide will tell you 这个守夜的人到底是什么样的。His job was to patrol 巡逻. So he's walking around the campus. Actually, I was a night watchman once myself. So I have done a night watchman's work. His job was to patrol the school and keep watch out for fires. 他要留心烧火或火灾. Okay? So he's watching out for fires, and he's watching out for intruders during the night. What is an intruder? An intruder is somebody who comes in uninvited. Somebody who intrudes is somebody who comes and you aren't expecting and you don't want. That is an intruder. He comes in without asking. And of course, in a school situation, you want to keep the intruders out, night and day, actually. Okay? Going on. He also had to watch out for naughty students. 不听话的学生啊. We had a few of those. I wasn't one of them, I guess. I may have been a little调皮, but I tried to be obedient to the rules of the school. Now, he had to watch out for naughty students who seemed to do many of their misdeeds under the cover of darkness. Okay, now, students, do they do their thing at night or day? Well, if they can, they do it at night. Okay? Why? These are the naughty students, 这个不听话的, because these misdeeds, 他们的错误，他们的坏的行为 misdeeds, 坏的行为 okay? Under the cover of darkness. 有黑暗这个掩盖着他们. Why? Because when it's dark, nobody can see them. Of course. That's the reason why even thieves, 这个小偷, when do they come? Do they come during the day? Sometimes. When do they most often come? At nighttime. 晚上的时候. Okay, going on. But by far his strangest peculiarity, okay, 最奇怪的这个癖好 peculiarity 癖好 or 古怪点 or I don't know, peculiarity. When we say you are peculiar, we say that you are strange, but peculiar means 有一点点也不是负面，不过it's very strange. Yeah, very strange. Maybe that is a little strange and very strange. Okay, if you can call 他的职业，其实呢，the way I wrote it here is，如果你能够这个说明他的职业是一个这个一个奇怪的或者一个癖好。Why? Because normally if it's their job, then it's okay. But he had a special job that nobody else in the school had, and that was Uncle Buzzy was the school beekeeper. 学校的专门养蜜蜂的 a beekeeper 养蜜蜂的一个人。I will explain a little bit later. We became, that is my brother and I and my father became beekeepers. So I have a little bit of a feeling about this, and I learned it from Uncle Buzzy, as you will see in just a moment. Going on, that's why they call him Uncle Buzzy. Now, I don't know how you say, maybe in Chinese says wong wong jiao, but in the West, Xifang, we say bzz, 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 and that's the sound of a flying bee, or a fly, maybe. 苍蝇也好, or bee 也好. Okay, so we gave him the name Uncle Buzzy. Buzzy. Okay, so it sounds like the work that he did. So what did he do? He did two things. He was the night watchman, 守夜. And during the day, if he had some time during the day, he was the person who did what? He took care of the bees. Also, 他是配钥匙. So he took care of making the keys for the whole school. Okay, going on. The first couple years, I didn't pay much attention to the hives. Okay, these fengxiang. Fengxiang is where the bees live. That's the box that the bees live in. I didn't pay much attention to this because they were placed on the hill behind the boys' dorm. 在男宿舍这个小山上. Okay, well, we were on the hill. 我们是在山边的. And then behind our school, up a little bit higher, we had the beehives. Lots of beehives going on. But during my senior year, my brother and I got interested enough to ask Uncle Buzzy to teach us how to do beekeeping. During my senior year, okay, when I was a senior, 我高三年级的时候, my senior year in high school, my brother was 高二, so we're only 1 year apart. A little over 1 year old apart. In school, we were 1 year apart. So, 只不过是差1年. During my senior year, my brother and I got interested. 发生兴趣. Okay? 开始对养蜜蜂开始有兴趣. Okay? And we were interested enough, so we actually asked Uncle Buzzy, the beekeeper, the man who made the keys, the man who was the night watchman, we asked Uncle Buzzy to teach us how to do beekeeping. 怎么样蜜蜂? I remember I remember that I even bought a very thick book. If I remember right, it was called the A to Z of Beekeeping. A to Z of beekeeping. Everything you needed to know about beekeeping. And so I did buy the book. Going on. Now, Uncle Buzzy lived in a remote place. 很遥远的一个地方. Actually, it wasn't that remote, but it seemed remote to me because I didn't have a car. So I had to walk to his house. Uncle Buzzy had one son, and his one son was my brother's friend. So we went to that house. He lived in a remote place, so it always added a little suspense, okay, for us at least, okay, because we had to walk through the woods. Now, if you walk through the woods, okay, no problem, except that my brother and I were not used 不习惯这个穿过这个树林啊. And it was just a little tiny trail. And so we went up to his house. Suspense. Okay, you can say 紧张, 担心, suspense. 紧张, just a little bit worried as we were walking through the woods to his house. Going on. Out in the clearing where his little house was located, there were also many piles of old things and junk. So he lived out in a clearing. Okay, what is a clearing? If you live in the woods, then the clearing means that you have trees all around you. Clearing, 没有, well, usually it means 没有树的一个地方. So this is a clearing in the woods, okay? So in the clearing where his little house was, so he had a little house out there in the clearing, where it was located, that means 它的位置, okay? There were many piles of old things and junk. I never ever did pay much attention. It's too bad because old things sometimes are very, very valuable. But of course, I was a little child. So all I just remember was that there were many things out in the clearing and piles of junk. Junk is 没用的东西. 也不是 garbage. Junk just means the old things that 已经坏掉了. 没有丢掉，就是堆在那个地方. Okay? Many old things, 很多老旧或破旧的东西啊. Go ahead. Inside the house, everything was dark and had the smell of oldness. 用这个我们鼻子闻的这个味道，这个香味一点都不香。反正 it smelled old, a little bit like it was. In fact, I remember that it was dark. In his house, it was quite dark. 很暗. Of course, they had electric lights, but I just remember that inside the house was old, it was dark, and it seemed so strange. Of course, Uncle Buzzy himself was a very eccentric, 古怪的一个人。Okay, let's go on. But we didn't stay inside for long. We didn't stay inside for long. Why should we stay inside? Because outside there was the smell of spring. 春季的春天的这个味道香味。The flowers were opening up, and the birds were singing, and especially at his house, there was the fragrance 香味 okay, 香味 of sweet honey everywhere. Also, there were lots of old what do you call hives? 这个蜂箱啊 and so you could smell honey. Everything smelled like honey because he was the beekeeper. And as the beekeeper, he had many things, and all of it had to do with bees. And he collected the honey. 他是收集这个蜂蜜. It was so interesting. And we were all so fascinated. Going on. He'd say, okay, boys, let's go open up some hives. 让我们去开一些蜂箱啊. And look, at that point, we covered ourselves. 我们就穿上. Okay, in this case, covered ourselves means that we were wearing special clothes, okay, from head to foot. 从头到脚. Okay, so we were wearing special clothes, and we had a screen. Okay, we had this screen around our face. You know, 好像是一个网啊, and it's around our face so that the bees couldn't get to our face. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but bees don't like dark color. They prefer 宁愿 light color, 白, 他们最喜欢是白. So, Uncle Buzzy told us, boys, wear light clothes. Don't wear dark clothes. 因为这个深色的衣服他们不喜欢的, okay? We had this screen around our head. Okay, there's a wall around our head. So we could see, but the bees could not get to our face. Going on. We always seemed to get stung a couple times. I don't know why. Always, 1 or 2 times, the bees would sting me. 会叮我呢. 1、2次. Every time. But Uncle Buzzy also wore a screen around his head. He did. But he never put on gloves. 从来没有用这个手套. Okay, nothing on his hands. He just went all there. I remember sometimes, at least one time, and he said, oh, and there was a bee that was stinging him, 叮他, and so he just took it off. I mean, if I got stung, I wouldn't be that patient. 我可能是忍耐不住，很痛啊. Okay, very painful. Okay, going on. He had been stung so many times that bee stings didn't bother him very much. Okay, well, of course, you develop a resistance, 一种抵抗力. So 被叮了这么多次. So it didn't bother him. 不算是太大的一个麻烦. Okay, going on. Inside the hive, he showed us the various points of interest, especially the queen bee. Okay, how do you say queen bee? 皇后 is a queen, so what is a queen bee? 蜂后. Okay, I had to look to make sure I got it right here. Okay, and he told us 这个很有趣的几点, okay, especially the queen bee. Do you know how that you can tell the queen bee? Because everybody, 四周围, all the bees are pointing toward her. So you look for the queen because all the bees are pointing toward her. 向她面对她 going on. This hobby was so captivating. 吸引人的 captivating. Okay, so 吸引人 that even my father got interested. We told our father, 我的爸爸有兴趣. Eventually, 最后, our family had 30箱这个蜂箱啊，30个蜂箱啊。So it was a great thing. We had our own honey, and the honey was great. And we didn't have to buy it because, in fact, we actually sold honey to our friends because we didn't need to use all the honey that we had. Okay, so I think that's about it. We have an email address, theoldprinciple@gmail.com, and we have a website. Our website address is www.theoldprinciple.org. You know, I hope that you have enjoyed this lesson and that you will join us next time with a friend for the next lesson from the Old Principle. Until then, bye-bye.